When you know who you are, you know what decisions to make.
All of my life I've seen visions, coming attractions. Knew I could do more, so further, different perception. But a faulty belief system was my distraction, surrounded by things that did not support my vision. I can see beyond what I'm looking at. Have the courage to focus till it manifests. Done with the things that hold me back. 'Cause I'm an attractive thinker. I can see beyond what I'm looking at. Have the courage to focus till it manifests. Done with the things that hold me back. 'Cause I'm an attractive thinker. Thinker, 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 thinker.
Great day, attractive thinker. Welcome back to another episode of From Birthing Babies to Birthing Dreams. Dr. Toni Hatton here, CEO and founder of The Attractive Thinker, where we provide mental tools for mental healing, mental strength, and mindset maintenance for new, aspiring, and first-generation entrepreneurs. It is critical, attractive thinker, to know who you are, owning your identity, knowing exactly who you are is a game changer because the decisions that we make come from that place. When you believe that you're powerful, you make empowered decisions. When you don't believe that you're powerful, you're making decisions that are not in alignment with your heart and what you truly want for your life, and not owning who you are causes you to settle. Because if you're not being who you are, then who are you being? If you're not being who you truly are, then you're showing up in the world as someone else, as someone that you're not. Now, sometimes as attractive thinkers, we go through these phases on our entrepreneurial journey, whereas we have to sit with, or we consider, or we ponder the accusations or people saying things like, oh, you think you're this, or you think you're that, or you think you're better than me, or you're better than us. Think about that, attractive thinker, on your entrepreneurial journey, when you're reaching for bigger and better things, when you're changing and growing and evolving, and your circle begins to shift and change. Sometimes people can view you differently, or view you as someone that you're not, or as someone who's doing something that you're not doing, all because you want to do something different. You want to better yourself. You want better for your life, or you want to experience something new. It's called change. And a lot of times, although change can be tough sometimes on the person trying to change, it's also tough on the people around you watching you grow and change and evolve. And they're sharing their perspective of what they're seeing, their limited perspective of what they're seeing, and what that change appears to look like to them. So knowing who you are makes this easier on you, this shift, this entrepreneurial journey, this growth journey that we're on. Because when you know who you are, now you can handle the accusations. Now you can handle the repercussions. Now you can handle shifting your circle, making the necessary changes that you have to make, because you're realigning with your authentic, true identity. You're realigning with your dream and your idea and your desire, your gifts and your talents and your skills. It's really tough to try and acquire something when you don't know who you really are, because when people begin to share their perspectives about what it is that you're doing, if it's not supportive of what you're doing, it can cause you to doubt what you're doing. When you're not secure in your identity, you can begin to waver based on the external experiences that you're having and the external conversations that you're hearing and how people are viewing what you're doing. Your identity, securing and solidifying who you are. See, we get to define ourselves. You don't get your identity from outside of you. You get to define yourself. When you define who you truly are, you can handle the opposition that comes in life. You can handle the obstacles that you're going to encounter. Owning who you are is coming into alignment with your power, attractive thinker. When you own who you are, you accept the fact that you're different. Some people can't accept the fact that they're different, that they think different, that they want different for their lives. They can't accept that because they haven't gotten over the fact that they want to fit in. They're still connected to how it feels to fit in and to belong and to get along. When you own your identity and who you are, you're also owning the fact that you accept yourself. You accept that you're different. You accept that you want better for your life. You accept that you're breaking away from old systems and you're carving a new generational path. You accept what comes along with that. Sometimes people focus on the change or the goal that they want to accomplish, and they aren't aware of what comes along with the achievement of that goal. And it becomes difficult to achieve that goal because when you're faced with opposition and you're not sure, you haven't solidified your identity, now you can begin to believe that there's something not just wrong with you, but there's something wrong with what you're doing. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe this is not for me, or maybe I'm not capable, or maybe I didn't think the right thing, or maybe I chose the wrong path, or maybe I shouldn't have reached too far. When you begin to feel like that and think like that about a goal that you have, about something that you decided in your heart that you wanted to experience for your life, that could stem from an identity that is not solidified and not from you're doing something wrong. So as an entrepreneur, when you decide that you want to accomplish something in your life, be it writing your book or launching a business idea or taking your business to the next level or taking your book to the next level, when you own the decision that you made, no matter what you encounter outside of that decision, and when you go out into the world and encounter people, places, and things, no matter what obstacle or challenge you encounter, because you owned the decision that you made, it's not going to affect you or cause you to waver on the decision that you made. Knowing who you are is a game changer. It's the root. It's the foundation that you build within yourself so that you can stay the course and be fortified and handle any type of obstacle that you'll encounter along the way and not change the path, not come off the path, and not reconsider the decision that you already made. Knowing who you are is an act of self-love. Knowing who you are is coming into agreement with your highest potential. Knowing who you are is owning your power. Knowing who you are is being okay with who you are. When you know who you are and you own who you are, you don't get upset about comments from people who don't know who you are. Think about that. Sometimes it can become very frustrating when you're getting comments from people who you felt like should be supportive of your dreams and goals, but they aren't, and they're only sharing their perspective of you and what you're doing. They don't know who you really are. So you have to be forgiving, especially when it comes from our family and our friends and people that are close to us and people who we thought would support us on our entrepreneurial journey. That's a whole other topic that we could talk about the support that we feel as though we should get from the people that we supported. Sometimes that support is not going to come from the people that you already know, attractive thinker. That's why it's important to connect with the attractive thinker generation where you can get the support that you need to give birth to your dreams, ideas, and desires. Sometimes, especially on my entrepreneurial journey, I didn't get the support that I thought I would get from my immediate circle. And sometimes that's not how it's going to happen. If you do get that kind of support from your immediate circle, I celebrate you for that. Congratulations. But most of the time, that's not common. That's not how it happens. So when you know who you are, you're strengthened. You have the courage to keep going no matter what people are saying or no matter what does and does not work out for you. No matter how far you get with your project and you hit an obstacle, even obstacles cannot stop you when you know who you are. So I want you to think about that as you proceed on your entrepreneurial journey. When you know who you are, you're not triggered, you're not wavering, you're not starting and stopping, you're not talking yourself into and out of your dreams, ideas, and desires, because you already made up your mind that this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to achieve. This is how you're going to show up. And there's nothing that can stop you from moving forward in your life and creating the life that you desire to live and experience for yourself. So, as an attractive thinker, I know you already have your copy of the Attractive Thinker book on Amazon. I want you to read through the chapter that talks about entrepreneurship and install and fortify that mindset, the entrepreneurial spirit, the entrepreneurial mindset, and use the tools and strategies there to support you in handling any obstacles that you're going to experience along the way so that you can get the results that you're looking for quicker, without being hindered and slowed down by obstacles that have nothing to do with the progress and the experience that you want to have for your life. If this message supported you in strengthening your confidence and your courage and giving you the clarity that you need to own your identity and supported you in being empowered on your entrepreneurial journey, share this episode. You can screenshot this episode and share it on your social media pages. Follow us on social media using the hashtag #TheAttractiveThinker when you make your posts, and you can find me on Facebook under Dr. Toni Hatton. I so enjoy sharing these powerful messages with you to keep you mentally strong and mentally encouraged so that you can continue to give birth to your dreams, ideas, and desires. If you haven't already done so, share the link on Amazon with your circle of influence so that they can get their own copy of the Attractive Thinker book. And now you have support. Now you have people to talk to that are on the same wavelength that you're on. Now you have attractive thinkers who are now ready to give birth to their dreams, ideas, and desires. And they understand the shifts that you're making in your life. My life's work, that's always to make your life better. Remember, it's not what you're going through. It's how you're viewing it. Think attractively, and I'll see you soon.